Alrighty, this will be the position 4 replay for Shadow Demon. I think this is the first Shadow Demon game I've seen you play, so it'll be kind of interesting to see how this goes. Alright, 2 sets of tangos, a salve, excellent, 2 mangoes, 2 clarities, branch. Okay. I think you'll get better opportunities to use your clarities than ogre, so the clarities aren't as concerning. Not sure if the lich is going to go for the mango nuke build. I kind of doubt it. So this should be a pretty easy lane for you and Underlord. Especially if he gets a root, several waves, you disrupt, and then coming out of the disruption, they get rooted a second time. You guys are going to absolutely crush them when you run into people. So this is good running up. You need to chase this Underlord, not run back up the stairs, and you need to have Shadow Poison already. You need to start building these stacks. So later in the lane, I do see that you get a great set of stacks on the Lich. I don't think he understands how strong it is once you do get up to 5. But you need to start building these up now. So there's no reason to wait. Maybe 40 seconds is a little early, but you want to be getting in their face and stacking Lich and Spectre up to 3 or 4 before the rune fight even starts. Because that way you make sure that you win the rune fight if it's going to go bad. Yeah, like right here. Why don't you have Shadow Poison right now? So both of them were staying on top of each other. You could have easily skilled Shadow Poison and gotten them a couple times. I don't know why you're holding it. There's no other choice here. Disruption would be a terrible mistake to get right off the bat. I think Shadow Poison is clearly the skill to go for. And I don't know why you're holding it. Because in this whole, however many fights, probably 20 seconds, you could be up to 3 stacks right now. And then the rune would basically be guaranteed for you guys. But you're really holding your Shadow Poison for so long, and that makes no sense to me. Underlord is at half-life now. Now you start to throw Shadow Poison. Way too late. You're not going to build up enough stacks. So yeah, now these guys are going to run away, and you basically cast two stacks of Shadow Poison. You didn't get the Spectre the first time, and so you basically wasted all this much mana for nothing, because you're not going to get to 4 or 5 stacks, and that's really where it has its value. So you basically wasted a third of your starting mana to not get Shadow Poison damage early on. You really needed to skill that like 30 seconds or a full minute earlier and cast it probably 4 times more than you did. Because then you could be eating a Clarity right now, and then your Clarity would get you back up to the majority of your mana by the time you get back to the lane, and then you can do another 5 stacks on the Lich. But now you're starting where these guys still have a respectable amount of health, when really these guys should both be at, or at least one of them should be at less than half. Okay. Focusing the poison on the Lich, don't hate that. Just keep casting it, off cooldown, cast it again. Yep, a little late there, but okay. Throw it again. Perfect. And then the next one might be iffy, you gotta kind of blindly pick. Oh, there you go, you see it cast? That was good, 5 resets. That was a mistake. So you immediately released it after you just hit him with it. You needed to get an extra stack. So that wasn't enough damage. I could see that there. And even though the 6th, 7th, and 8th stacks, once you get past the extras, they don't have the same, ridiculous amount of extra damage, but you still get an extra 50. So putting 2 more stacks on him would get him up to 100 more damage, and that makes sure you kill him. So you have harassed him nicely out of lane, but by manually releasing early, you missed your chance for a kill. You could have gotten 1 more stack on him. And I think the only reason why you hid in the lane there. Okay, now that's a good point to interrupt. Okay. 1 more. That was late, but that actually hit. Okay. And then 5th. There you go. Now that should be a... Oh wow, that was close. Okay, so I thought that one was going to work. So I would have also released at the same time. But that worked out perfect. So 1 early release, 1 correct release, and then 1 series of not casting it early enough to begin with. Should go for a stack. So in this time, you cast... So your mana is really low, and you need to not be tempted to throw Shadow Poisons when you don't have enough to build up a full set. If you can't put 5 on that Spectre, you really shouldn't be casting any to try and put 1 or 2. That's a complete waste. The time that you spent in the last 10 seconds kind of dancing around here, hitting the Spectre with 1 Shadow Poison, was really wasted. So 49-second mark, you need to be going straight for this camp here. So you're going to hit Spectre with 1 cast. You may have enough mana to get 2 more over the next 30 seconds, and then that's it. You're waiting for your clarity to come back. You got 2 mangoes to munch if you really need to, but that's not the best use of your time right now. You need to be going down here to this camp, and you need to be stacking this, or stacking the small camp if you don't. If you think you're going to dominate the lane so strongly that you have the ability to take over, and that would be a good use of your Shadow Poison. You throw Shadow Poison out one way, and then manually stack this camp with a right click. And you stack both these camps in the next 10 seconds. But throwing your poison to get, what is it? Let's see, what's 1 bit of damage? 20. That's really not worth it at all. And it wasn't worth your 35 mana. You need to let the clarity build back up. Basically run around, do some other non-harassing support stuff. And then when the Lich comes back, then you restart when your mana's up here somewhere and you have enough to get a full set of 5. Alright, I don't think you're going to stack at all, it looks like. You're just kind of wandering around. This may be a pull, that's good. It's a shame this is going to be a single pull, but... Okay. You're hanging out, you're thinking about it. So your mana would be up here if you hadn't used it. For that 1 Spectre Shadow Poison. Okay, good. See, now I wouldn't mind if you started casting because you can build up 5. With this much mana, you can get Spectre up to 5 casts. So now you should start casting it on you. Okay, stay close, don't run away. You need to be much closer, yep. You can get right on the other side of this tree. Yeah, you waited so long that Spectre reset the stack. You went from 1, then back to 0, then back to 1. So this should be 3 right now, but you waited too long, and you missed 1. For nothing. You need to cast again. You're waiting too long. You're waiting way too long. That was close. You almost missed that one, I think. So it's still built up to 3, but you cannot wait this long. That's 4. Good. 5. Okay. A little late on that, and you shouldn't have aggroed that tower. And you really should stop releasing manually after the 5th stack. So the damage you get off 5 stacks is not the end-all be-all. Spectre wasn't going to necessarily die from that or get harassed out of lane. Looks like Spectre's already back up to full, so you wasted your chance. You need to build up the stacks so high that it becomes a one-hit kill. Because if players like the Lich or the Spectre don't understand how much damage this is, getting this up to 7 stacks is worth more than releasing at 5 and then putting another 2 on. Because the extra 100 damage you get might be enough to kill a Spectre who has 5 to 800 life. So that releasing early and immediately after 5 is a big mistake. Okay, it's a shame you weren't close enough for that. You need to throw out another set, you're about to miss. Okay, now you're going for the Lich. Stack again, 4, good. Okay, I'm not really thrilled about that one, right? There you go. Don't manually release, there you go. 6, this is good, this is your first stack past 5, and then yeah, okay. See, so you getting up to 7 there got you the kill. So I don't know why you were manually casting the release earlier at 5. Because that proved that you know to build it up past 5. Yeah, so you ended up getting way too much health regen, not enough mana regen. This is okay, you leave the Underlord, you go get the rune. Ideally, you stack on your way to get the rune. So you being here means, okay, that's a dead camp, you need to stack over here. So that should be a poison cast, but not a big deal. It's looking like you're starting to win the lane a little bit, and so it's helpful for you to start taking over the small camp as well. When you're dominating the lane so hard, and look at this, Underlord's at 2400, Spectre's at 18, you really do want to take advantage of both jungle camps. But this isn't bad either. This is still working out really well for you guys. So you're in vision there. So because the Lich came up to you and was able to cast that quickly, you know that they have vision on you with an Observer Ward. So if Lich had naturally come around the corner and hadn't seen you beforehand, there would have been a delay where he's walking a direction, he stops, and then he attempts to cast. But as soon as he comes out of smoke, he's already immediately beginning the cast animation for the Frost Blast. So you know he had vision because he had to precast that and walk up and then start the the thing where the Lich kind of leans back and then swings his head forward to blast you with the spell. So that's definitely a giveaway that there's vision somewhere here. And I can see on the mini map that it's past here. It's over like in this triangle area, or the 3 alleyway are over here. But you know that in that vicinity there's an observer. And you need to have a sentry on quick buy now. Ooh, free courier. Get a 4th stack on Lich, good. 5th. Okay, you missed that one, but you can disrupt. There you go. Yeah, with the Underlord, you can just release kill. Okay, good. This lane is going really well for you now. You need to eat some of these tangos, though. You're really low health. You're at 400, 50% health, and you haven't eaten a single tango. Okay, there you go. This is a bad spot. We tried to TP out, which is good. You should get away here. This is level 1 battery assault. That's not enough damage to do anything. The point in Soul Catcher. Okay. Doesn't bother me much. So yeah, I think you're just using the disruption right now to make sure you get an extra hit of Shadow Poison. You're not actually using the disruption for the illusion damage, so then that's fine. But I don't think you have the mana pool to really use Soul Catcher this early. And so I think rather than add Soul Catcher to your repertoire and have a 3rd spell when you're so mana hungry, it would have been better to just have slightly stronger illusions. But I don't mind it. Seems okay. Alright, let me pause this for... Alright, first one's not ready yet. Okay. You need to eat your tangos faster. You're running around with 300 missing health and 4 tangos that you haven't munched on. So you're really slow about eating tangos to regen your health. This right now is a mistake. Especially since you want to tank some of this damage to get the creeps off your tower. So you not having a tango going right now is a mistake. I don't know why you manually released that. You had 1, maybe 2. So that's not good. You need to disrupt. Okay. You should use your Soul Catcher as well. There you go. So you paused and waited for the Soul Catcher until he came out of disruption. And you can use Soul Catcher while they're disrupted. Now I don't know if you know that, because you waited until the disruption ended and then ran up and soul caught them. Which is okay, but the duration on Soul Catcher is so long. What is it, 10 seconds? But yeah, the extra like half second while they're in the disruption doesn't really make any difference. But it does make sure that you actually get them, because they're stationary and stunned in a way, whereas out of disruption they can start moving again. They're not quite stunned, and basically vulnerable to you hitting them. Okay, not terrible. Yeah, you're really burning through your mana pool though with these smaller spell usages. I don't think you harassed the Lich enough there. So like you ate up, what was that? 80, 120 mana, and the Lich is missing 70 health. So I don't really think you're getting value out of those smaller mana pool usages. I think you should lay off using the Soul Catcher, unless it's a big fight like that where the Death Prophet was there and you wanted to make sure you guys could do some damage to the Death Prophet in the middle of her exorcism diving the tower. But right there, when you see the Lich by himself, that's not a spot to use Soul Catcher, just on him without any other damage or any other build up. Interesting. Keep building up the stacks. Good. 3 stacks is good. 4. Get a 4th stack, and nice. That was close. So you figured she would have ran deeper into the trees, and you threw that kind of shallow. That was just a poor choice of angle. It worked out. About the same way, I don't think you would have killed her. So even if you had hit it, you know, it would have worked out with you hitting her one more time and she teleports out. That was an excellent teleport on behalf of your Underlord, though. He gets away nicely. You should stay here, disrupt, and keep that rune. So I think you leaving there was a mistake. You had the wand charges. You wand up. You disrupt her. It was at 5. 50 plus 75. Yeah, so that gives you enough mana to cast disruption, and then you get the rune there. That's just me. I'm also one of those P5s that trades their own life in order to get bounty runes because, you know, that usually tends to be financially worthwhile. See, now you're going to disrupt her, but now there's no bounty rune here. So you've basically done the same thing. See, that was silly. So you gave up on trying to fight the disruptor for the rune in the river. You ran over to your tower here, did something, healed up a little bit. I think you popped a clarity or ate a tango. And then you ran to this rune, but you were already there way after disruptor would have gotten away. Or gotten the rune. So Death Prophet got both runes uncontested. And you decide to come in late to contest the second rune when in fact you should have actually just done that same contest and disrupted to steal the first rune. So that was a mistake. It was even more of a mistake since you decided to not do anything with it. Because you could have at least gotten one of the bounty runes. So, bottled. Okay. Need to have more clarities or mangoes coming out. So you're still low on mana. I don't know what you've got coming out right now, but hopefully it is more mana regen. Which one of these is yours? This one here? No, this one here? Okay, 2 more clarities. That's fine. I would have probably added some mangoes as well. You know, I realize that would slow down your arcane boots a smidge, but you guys are so far ahead. I think just put on as much pressure as you can right now would be the best thing. Alright, you ate the book, 11 minutes, you got your ult, that's nice. Excuse me. More soda. This roaming around is a little inefficient, but the fact that you're taking a tier 2 at 11 minutes means that's okay. Realistically, you don't need to be there with those 3 guys, you know, pushing the tier 2, and you could be, you know, like very cautiously defending the tier 1, or stacking some camps, or harassing the mid. Looks like you're going to go harass the mid now, which is nice. Optimistic, you need to... that's not great. You didn't get a chance to disrupt. So you not disrupting there while was probably the biggest mistake. You keep trying to throw Soul Catcher to do some more damage, but the thing is, Ursa is going to do all the damage in this fight. You are not the damage dealer for this Spectre that's running away. You need to disrupt the Ursa, or disrupt the Spectre, and basically give Ursa the time to just lazily walk up for 2 seconds while the Spectre can't do anything and is stuck in place, and then you can throw the other damage spells you have, like poisons and catchers and, you know, your ult with your purge. But really, you not using disruption and then burning away all your mana with every spell except for disruption is what made it so that Ursa couldn't get to that Spectre in time. So that was definitely a misplay there. Still trying to get the Spectre, whatever. Yeah, so that works out terribly, and you guys feed uphill into the enemy. So really, the Spectre should have died somewhere back here, because she would have gotten disrupted, Ursa would have, you know, smacked her 3 or 4 times, and then the team coming off this plateau wouldn't have been able to save her in time. So even if they do respond, the Spectre's dead at that point, and Ursa has a chance to back out. Alright, so I'm going to say that your laning phase is also over. I'm going to go ahead and move on.